Sarah Lamani, and for my pop culture assignment, I have decided to research the director, Alfred Hitchcock, and specifically his movie Rear Window. For those of you who do not know, Hitchcock is famous for his thrilling movies and was nicknamed the Master of Suspense. He was born in 1899 and left England to work in Hollywood in 1939. He began his career as an engineer in London and attended the University of London, where he took a number of art courses. It was during this time that he wrote a number of short stories to be shown in the Henley Cable Company publications. Even in his early years, the stories were filled with themes of harsh treatment, wrongful punishment, and conflicting emotions, and his famous twist endings. Some of Alfred Hitchcock's films, such as Blackmail and The Man Who Knew Too Much, were instant successes for the British public. The Man Who Knew Too Much would later go on to be remade by Hitchcock in 1959, with Jimmy Stewart and Doris Day as the leads. While there were a few films prior to these two, they did not gain the same respect that his later films would achieve. Once he saw the popularity of his films in England, Hitchcock continued his journey to the United States. In the 40s, he wrote and directed Rebecca, a movie about a woman who marries a widower that has a murderous backstory. It won the Academy Award for Best Picture and ensued decades of success for Hitchcock. After Rebecca came films such as Suspicion in 1941, Stage Fright in 1950, and Dial M for Murder in 1954. Rear Window was released in color also in 1954 and gained Hitchcock an Oscar nomination. Following Rear Window came Vertigo in 1958, Psycho in 1960, and The Birds in 1964. Hitchcock died in 1980 after receiving a Lifetime Achievement Award for his 50 feature films. Rear Window tells the story of a wheelchair-bound photographer named Jeffries, played by Jimmy Stewart, who is confined to his small apartment in the summer heat. He spends the long recovery of his broken legs looking out his window and into the lives of the adjacent apartment dwellers. He looks into the lives of newlyweds, a female member of the Lonely Hearts Club, and even a depressive pianist. The entire set was created for the film and features entire buildings, apartments, and shared courtyards. With color photography, the audience is able to see the diversity of the neighborhood and the reality of the situation. Other main character of the film is Jeff's girlfriend Lisa, played by Grace Kelly, who is concerned with his new fascinations. This is, of course, until the pair witness strange behavior of an older man who lives across the courtyard. While at the beginning of the movie he is seen with his wife, there are no longer any traces that she has lived there. She seems to have vanished into thin air, with the husband spinning a web of deceit, lies, and suspicious evidence. It is up to Jeff and Lisa to prove foul play before it catches up to them. What makes Rear Window such a thrilling movie is the way it is filmed. It makes you feel that you are looking through the eyes of Jeff, and at all times the camera is placed from the inside of his apartment. When you look at the neighbors through the window, it is as if you are looking through the main character's camera. Because of this viewpoint, you feel Jeff's emotions as the story progresses. For example, Hitchcock makes the audience feel trapped when Jeff feels trapped, and helpless when he watches Lisa sneak into the man's apartment. It makes one feel almost paralyzed as you watch the man come back home and almost discover Lisa in the act. In regard to the themes of the movie, Hitchcock takes a lot of the fear of the era and uses it to construct a thrilling story. Just like Jeff, there is some fascination in the idea that you can peer into others' lives without causing alarm. For Jeff, this almost becomes an obsession as he becomes more involved with his neighbors' lives than with his own. As this movie was released during the height of the Cold War, we see a lot of themes that correspond with the fears of the day. For example, Jeff becomes overly concerned with the relationship status, mental health, and well-being of the nearby tenants. He looks to them as a strange sort of entertainment and relishes in their flaws as he details them to Lisa and his nurse. Ultimately, it leads to both his downfall and heroism, and the movie ends with Jeff falling out a window, only to be placed back in the confinement of his apartment. This unending cycle adds to the irony of Jeff's journey throughout the movie. Additionally, Jeff has a certain sense of entitlement that allows him to step into the role as the neighborhood watchdog. Just like social tensions in the US during the Cold War, normal citizens just like Jeff feel that it is their American responsibility to keep tabs on those with differing political opinion or ideology, even if they know those people for years. While Jeff has different motives than this, we can see this mirror image of what happens when a person becomes too involved or too obsessed. On the other hand, Hitchcock toils with the idea that we can never really know our neighbors. Though pleasant on the outside, upon further inspection by Jeff, the audience sees that these people, like the newlyweds or the piano player, have issues under the surface. Sometimes these issues take time to be revealed, and sometimes they are never truly explained. It's almost as if the more we know about them, the more they break the mold of that 1950s perfect lifestyle. What Jeff and the audience learn is that there is danger in every person's life, but it is really the fear of that danger which poses the biggest threat.